Going to be putting up an article on Substack and a video as well with the information on the voice, probably around the 20th of May. There's a report due from the Joint Standing Committee. They've reviewed a lot of submissions and they're going to come up with a report. So I want to read that report and I'll include an analysis of that in the article. The inquiry site, it's actually out of action at the moment, but that's all inquiries, not just the voice. They had some scheduled maintenance from the 13th of May, which is today, up until the 15th. So it should be back online. I'll put the links in the description, but you probably won't get to it for a couple of days if you want to read through these inquiries yourself. I downloaded a couple of the PDFs for the yes and the no, and I'm going to include a review of the two sides in the article itself once I put it out. But I just wanted to do a primer just to give you an idea of how the yes side is all about emotion and how the no side is people advocating for no are raising legitimate concerns as to the fact that they're intentionally not giving any information on even the design of the voice. We don't even know the composition of it until after the referendum. They want to get a yes vote. Then they're going to tell us what it's about, and people are raising concerns about that. But I just wanted to run through this yes submission just to give you an idea of how the emotions that they're going with. And I actually think this one, I picked this one out because it was on the first page, by the way. It's almost too contrived. I have doubts that it was just one person sitting there and how all these ideas came into their mind and they put them into this submission. It looks very, very constructed. And if this one's like that, then you can bet a lot of the other ones were. I can't remember them advertising on the news at 6 p.m. saying, oh, submissions to the voice inquiry closed if you want to get them in. So interesting to see the committee's report after having viewed these, because there would probably a higher percentage would be yes compared to if they had have let everybody know and people would have been voicing their concerns. But anyway, let's get into this one. They've redacted the surname only because you can go and look it up yourself once the website comes back up and you'll find there's a Martin. I think there's only one Martin, so you'll be able to find it out yourself. But I just wanted to, for this presentation, it's not about the guy, it's just about the submission. So just for a bit of protection there. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, look at this opening salvo. I'm a white, middle-aged male coming out of the block, strong on emotion. So already they're playing a demographic card here. But despite being part of a privileged group here in Australia, the messages are coming thick and fast. Told you it looked a bit contrived. This white middle-aged male supposedly 100% knows you must have a strong voice. The virtue signalling is strong in this one. So that's just one emotional angle that's part of this submission. Another reason I think this one has been constructed, purpose-made, is the poor grammar they're put through it. It's almost too obvious that it's poor grammar. It's like they're trying to make out, well, this is just from the ordinary citizen, and your average white middle-aged male isn't too literate. They contradict the presence of bad grammar with some information that they give later on. Supposedly we are the fair country. Oh, we're not? Well, I better vote yes then. Another emotional angle. So as long as you are some more bad grammar about white middle, then you got, or high income Christian. So that's what I mean, it's contrived. They've got a real specific target that they're aiming for. What, the banking class aren't high income? Can't mention them? No need to say Christian. Now the credibility of the author gets built up here, so you can really trust this author. Recently I completed a criminal justice degree. Subjects of that degree were First Nations justice. Now isn't that just a little bit too convenient? This is information that contradicts the presence of bad grammar. And while it looks like it's not a law degree, it's to do with law, and anything to do with law, their language has to be precise. It can't be ambiguous. Now, title pages is a bit of a giveaway as well. Most of them are just Word documents, whereas this one has almost like a professional marketing look about it, like it's a prospectus. They keep ramping up the emotion. Now we've got world of lies, abuse and inhumane treatment. And it goes on to say that most Australians are unaware of, so you've got to do one of these degrees at university. The university lecturers and professors, they're the only ones with their finger on the moral pulse that you can trust. So if you want a compassionate, inclusive and modern society, come on, you got to vote yes. If you don't, then you're a fearful, redundant dinosaur. You don't want to be that. See, this is all it is. It's just all emotional manipulation. Nowhere in this submission or any of the yes submissions do they point out exactly what is going to change, any outcomes at all, because they're hiding it from us. Although they do give some hints to the outcome hidden inside of these submissions, and it says here, I am proud to live in their country. Well, hang on, isn't it everybody's country? See, this is probably what's going to happen if you say yes to a referendum that you won't be your country. And this is where it really ramps up. This is their country, capital letters, and it's saying that it was a land grab. Well, yeah, it was, but that was just the nature of the progress of the human race at that point in time, exploring new lands. Now, if the British hadn't stopped and taken Australia, what, you think the Spanish would have left it alone, or the French? Now, there's no inhumane treatment going on. I mean, if there is, it's just crimes and people get thrown in jail. But it's not systemic from the Australian people, and we're all dinosaurs, brutally treating the Aborigines like they first were by the early colonialists and the settlers. But it's the opposite now, as we all know. Whenever you fill out a government form or any kind of form, are you an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, you have to tick that box, because if you are, it's not inhumane treatment, you get preferential treatment. And Australians are pretty okay with that. No one ever complains about it. That's fine. So the guilt trip they're trying to put on us is just ridiculous. And without declaring what the design of the voice is or what it's going to do, this is their country, they could effectively, through legislation, because this is the Constitution, remember, we all know how important it is. You change the Constitution, you change the political status of people within, and I go into that in my Substack article. That's what I think this is going. They're going to try and reverse the colonisation, put it back to the Aboriginals, and then if they're the primary people on the territory, well, these BlackRock, Vanguard, State Streets, who global investors who want to partner with nations rather than just contracting services, the contract finishes, they want to partner, because as much they're going to be able to have an unfair partnership with only 3% of the people, and that if they're at a higher status, well, that means they're going to be at a higher status than the 97% as partners with the Aboriginal people. Can you see where this is going? I include all that in the article. Anyway, I've jumped ahead of myself there. And finish off with some more emotional angles here, because that's all they can offer you is an emotional feeling that, you know, I live in a fair country and I'm a good person and I'm not a dinosaur. And the trade-off is that the mining royalties, you will no longer be the beneficiary. The global investors who don't even set foot in the country, they'll be splitting not just the mining royalties, any value that comes out of the land, they'll be splitting that with 3% of the population. So that's it for this one. Like I said, I'll be putting the article out around the 20th of May. Give me about 3 or 4 days to review this. Hopefully it'll be online. Hopefully this maintenance will end and we can get back to all of the information that the government's got. Now, they've got an email you can write to. So if there's a report, we're entitled to it. So one way or another, we'll get that report. But they should put it up. So, all right, that's it for this one.